The Republican landscape is shifting once again, and at the center of this unfolding drama stands one figure whose presence looms large over the 2024 primary, former President Donald Trump. Despite controversies that have shadowed his career, both personal and professional, Trump continues to command a formidable edge, drawing loyalty from a base that refuses to waver. He is the elephant in every room, the reference point against which all other candidates are measured. In this atmosphere, new entrants must navigate a political minefield, balancing ambition with caution and strategy with survival. Among these new faces is South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, who has officially entered the race as the Republican Party's first African-American presidential candidate for 2024. Scott's entry is more than a symbolic milestone, and it represents a fresh narrative within a party wrestling with questions of direction, identity, and leadership. He joins a crowded and complex field, a collection of hopefuls whose individual ambitions are dwarfed by the towering influence of Trump. Before we dive deeper into the intricacies of this race, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Scandal Pulse, for ongoing analysis and exclusive updates on every twist and turn in the 2024 election. Scott's campaign strategy is distinct in its careful navigation of the political terrain. He has been cautious, deliberately avoiding direct confrontation with Trump, at least in the early stages. Instead, his speeches emphasize optimism, faith, and opportunity, drawing from his own life story to illustrate the American dream as a journey of continuous improvement. From humble beginnings, Scott has risen through the ranks, a testament to perseverance and principle, a story he weaves to resonate with voters seeking a vision of a better united America. Yet, Scott faces an immediate structural challenge: the fragmentation of the anti-Trump vote. The Republican field is populated with candidates like Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, Mike Pence, and others, all hoping to appeal to voters who want an alternative to Trump. The risk is evident. If these contenders cannot consolidate support, they will inevitably split the establishment vote, smoothing Trump's path toward the nomination. History offers a cautionary tale. In 2016, a divided establishment field featuring Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, and John Kasich failed to unify early enough, allowing Trump to capture the nomination despite lacking majority support in initial contests. That shadow looms over the current race, a reminder of what could happen if the opposition does not coordinate effectively. Observers note that Scott's campaign message is rooted in positivity. He portrays himself as a unifying figure, a candidate who seeks to transcend factional battles while staying firmly anchored in conservative principles for voters drawn to evangelical values, fiscal responsibility, and traditional Republican ideals. He offers an appealing narrative, but in a primary climate often dominated by sharp ideological disputes and combative rhetoric, the effectiveness of such optimism is uncertain. To stand out, Scott must craft a distinct identity that differentiates him not only from Trump, but also from the other established figures in the race. This requires appealing across a spectrum of Republican constituencies without alienating any critical segment of voters. As debates unfold and the campaign trail heats up, the fundamental dynamic remains clear: Trump versus the field. His base is substantial and fiercely loyal, providing him with a significant polling advantage from the outset. This dominance forces every other contender into a delicate balancing act: demonstrate viability as a challenger, without provoking a counterattack from Trump that could derail their campaign. For Scott, this means tempering criticism, focusing on his story and policy vision, and waiting for the moment when challenging Trump directly becomes both strategic and safe. The urgency for unity among anti-Trump candidates cannot be overstated. Party strategists and donors fear a repeat of 2016 when a fractured opposition allowed Trump to surge ahead unchallenged. Every week that passes without consolidation further entrenches his advantage, increasing the difficulty of mounting a viable challenge. Establishment figures recognize the need for the field to think quickly, allowing resources and support to focus on the strongest contender. Yet, each candidate believes they are best positioned to emerge as that alternative, making voluntary withdrawal unlikely in early stages. This tension sets the stage for a potentially protracted and costly battle, one that could play directly into Trump's hands. The Iowa caucuses and New Hampshire primary will serve as critical tests, revealing whether any candidate can unify support and demonstrate momentum. In this environment, Tim Scott brings unique qualities. He is not only the sole African-American candidate in the GOP field, but he is also recognized for principled conservatism and deep connections with the evangelical wing of the party. His personal narrative and fundraising capabilities will be scrutinized closely as early indicators of campaign viability. Success for Scott depends on transcending niche appeal and demonstrating broad-based support capable of challenging Trump's deeply entrenched base. Scott's approach reflects both opportunity and caution. By emphasizing uplift and personal achievement, he attempts to inspire voters while avoiding unnecessary confrontation. Yet, this strategy comes with inherent risks. In a political arena dominated by loud, combative voices, maintaining visibility and relevance requires both tact and assertiveness. Scott must navigate expectations placed upon him as a historic candidate, all while contending with structural challenges common to every contender operating in Trump's shadow. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, party leaders are grappling with questions of strategy and consolidation. Discussions of field winnowing are urgent but uncoordinated, with each candidate holding on to the hope of being the ultimate alternative. This creates a tense calculus pushed forward independently or risk diluting the vote to Trump's advantage. The coming months are critical as early primary results could reshape the trajectory of the race, potentially narrowing the field and clarifying who possesses the viability to mount a serious challenge. Analysts note that Scott's message, while positive, must resonate across multiple voter factions: evangelical voters seeking moral clarity, fiscal conservatives prioritizing economic responsibility, national security hawks concerned about international threats, and traditional establishment Republicans looking for stability. Success requires balancing these constituencies without alienating core supporters, a task complicated by Trump's continued dominance in the high stakes of early delegate contests. The Republican Party in 2024 is navigating a high-stakes drama that will define its identity and future. Tim Scott's entry introduces new dynamics, offering both hope and challenge. He represents a blend of optimism, principle, and historical significance, yet faces the formidable task of carving a path through a fractured opposition and the towering presence of a former president who continues to wield extraordinary influence. As the campaign unfolds, voters and observers alike will watch closely to see if Scott can rise above factionalism, unify the anti-Trump vote, and translate his compelling story into political momentum. His ability to do so will determine not only his prospects, but also the trajectory of the Republican Party itself. In the end, the 2024 Republican primary is more than a contest for the nomination. It is a test of the party's character, strategy, and vision. Will Trump's dominance persist, or will an alternative emerge capable of reshaping the field? Tim Scott's candidacy brings a fresh narrative, a message of hope, and a reminder that history is not yet written. The coming months will be pivotal as each debate, each campaign event, and each voter decision contributes to a story that is still unfolding, one chapter at a time. The Republican primary is not just a political contest. It is a reflection of America's ongoing struggle to define its values, its leadership, and its future. Tim Scott stands as both a symbol of change and a participant in a high-stakes game that could redefine the party for years to come. Whether his message of optimism, faith, and principled conservatism can prevail against the enduring presence of Donald Trump remains a question that will shape the 2024 election and beyond.